The night we were wolves. I started eating dinner. After dinner, I went to my desk. I spread out a map of the city and its surroundings on it. It was a city surrounded by forests and mountains, with several large and small streets. The forest extended to the north and south of the city, the mountains to the east, and to the back of the forest in the north. The western part was a flat plain, which was connected to other cities by a free road. The attacks had mostly come from the north, and I had received fewer reports in other places. There was a knock on the door. Miriam and John entered the room. John, Miriam and I thought about what you said. Considering our circumstances, this is a good and safe place for us to live. We accept your offer. I smiled and said, I am glad that you have met Julian. She is my sister, a brave, secretive and clever woman. In my absence, you can completely trust her. They came near the table and looked at the map. I said, recently, there have been attacks on people from these areas. I and many people have encountered creatures like you. I mean werewolves and wolverines. Can you tell me exactly where the laboratory and center you came from is? I think that other than you, other people have escaped from that center. I need to find out if they, like you, have human consciousness when they transform and attack people, or if they completely turn into animals, if they are like you. They attack intentionally, and if they are not, they still need to be stopped. Miriam, John and I had gone shopping. We were attacked on the way back. John and I got into a fight with them. But they caught us and put a syringe in our necks, knocking us unconscious. When we came to our senses, as I said, they had chained us to the bed. After the first transformation, they separated us. The women in one cage and the men in another. After a while, they brought cages carrying animals like dogs and threw each of us in it as they wanted and took us away. One night, I heard from 2 guards who were playing cards at the table that they were using those who were leaving here to fight and make money. They pit the werewolves against each other and the match would not end until one of them was killed. Many people came to watch. Until one night, the guards and the doctor we had seen for the first time. They came to us and started counting us. The guards were armed, and Dr. Walter, a middle-aged man, looked at us angrily. When the guard announced the number of us as 45, Walter became even angrier and said, "You thought you could escape from here. You all belong to me. I catch those who escape and hang them from the ceiling right here, so you know, even the thought of it is deadly." After we were transformed, they would test us to see which group we would belong to, those who understand or those who don't. One night it was my turn to fight. They took me inside a cage to a large hall. Many women and men gathered around the cage to watch me. Their looks were filled with fear, excitement and compassion. One said, "I want to bet you tonight, don't disappoint me." A woman said, "Poor girl, what kind of life do you have?" The young boy laughed and said, "Are you going to bite me?" I threw myself forward for a moment. The boy fell to the ground in fear. I smiled. "Boy, you bastard, you wild animal." The guard came forward and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you better go to your seats. The fight will start in a few minutes." He gestured to some people to take me out of there with the cage. I didn't know if my opponent was a woman or a man. I just knew that I had to win and stay alive, find a way to escape. Then we would escape with our lives. To stay alive, but if we died, we would be free. I said to Mike, "I want you to throw a cloth over me after the fight, when I turn into a human. Whether dead or alive, okay." "Mike, what difference does it make to you? Animals don't wear clothes." I said, "What difference does it make to you? You enjoy it and the money will remember you." "A deal. Bet on me." I won. I asked and did it. "Find out how much the maximum bet is. When you decide, tell me by the fighting cage." He looked at me and said, "Are you really willing to do all this work for a piece of cloth?" "Yes, I got married, except for you, which is mandatory." I don't like people to look at me when I'm completely naked. Mike, okay. I'll be back soon. He left.